Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Chris here. So this is another advanced tutorial video, and today I'm going to talk about how the entire base system works and how important it is to the gameplay. So at the start you will have none of these built, and you probably start off creating or leveling up your control interface, which allows you to build more buildings and level up your buildings. So for example, the building I was talking about in my first tutorial video, this room, that gives you friend points. As you can tell, it is level 3, but in order to build them, you have to get materials from a stage, and then with that material, so let's go to the stage. So you'll probably be getting them from this video, this stage, and then once you get these basic materials, you'll have to actually make them into the parts that you need to in order to level up buildings in your crafting station, which in here you can tell I can use these basic carbon materials into building materials. So also in this crafting center you can upgrade and craft higher tier materials in order to, for example, elite your agents or level up their skill. So for example, as you can tell, I can make materials from lower level to a higher level, and they keep going up. And then the highest tier levels requires multiple type of materials in order to craft them. So you don't actually get all these at the start. As you can tell, you have to also level up this building. So this is an office. In order to get, so let's wind back. So as I've told you before, for the free gacha system, you can select tags to get a better understanding of what you're gonna get from this randomness. But then you can also refresh your tag by leveling up that building that I just showed you, the office, and this will grant you a bit faster refresh rates to get, faster regeneration to get refresh rates. This is a very special room. As you can tell, it is almost at the lowest end, and that's like a really late game feature. But what this is once your character's skill level reach level 7, you can improve them further in this room, and your character has to be elite 2 to level up their skill even further. So this is a really late game thing. You probably won't touch it at the start, but just in case. Control interface is pretty much what you need in order to level up these buildings. So they'll have a requirement, like for example, to level up your crafting station to level 2, you probably have to reach like level 2 or level 3 in control interface, and same for other buildings. So these are just your personal space that you can let your units rest in, because in order to let any of these buildings function, you have to put units in them so that they work for you in the building. And so for example, as you can from here I can access every building, and I can tell which characters are in there, and I can tell their stamina from the stamina bar here. So these are also really important. You'll probably start from you're making your first one, and the thing is, the rate at which it regenerates your units, your agents' stamina, is dependent on the mood, as it says down the bottom here, mood of the room. In this case, this is 4,000, but that is because this is a level 4 room. If you had level 1, you're gonna get 1,000, and I can level this up to 5,000. So in order to level up, as I said, you need these building materials, but you will also need drones. Drones recover over time automatically, and they are needed to level up most of the buildings. But also, they have a really special feature, which I'm going to talk about really soon. These are power generators that gives your building's power, so that when you're adding a new building to the game, to your space, you'll need some energy to run them. So if you don't have enough maximum energy, you can't build more buildings. So as you can tell, I've leveled up all of them, so I can have all these buildings. So these are production stations, and they produce all sorts of items. So you can select from here. So these are experience books-ish thing, experience battle logs, gold, which you can sell to turn into game cash. These are the chips that are required to level your unit to Elite 2. You'll need all these materials, and you can actually craft your premium gacha resource currency with other resources. So these are the materials that are required, and then you can just craft your gacha resource. But I would never do that because it is such a waste. You will need lots of experience books, and I would suggest putting that in. So here I'm also making gold because I'm actually spending gold right here at the trading station. So this is the trading station. Your units are here. They're negotiating for you to get contracts and then to sell your gold into cash. So as you can tell, it takes time. And the thing with drone is you can actually use your drone to speed things up. So there you go. I got another contract, so I'm selling that, and I got more cash. And you can do the same for production stations. So here I can just max out, and I will produce one experience battle log, which is better than nothing. So in general, this makes me money, these makes me experience, so then I can save more stamina on other things. Perhaps you might think, oh, then I can just keep crafting these gacha resources, but I would suggest not to, because instead you'll be wasting more time getting the materials that are required to make those gacha materials. So you're using your stamina, but then you also need stamina to grind yourself extra money and extra experience. So using a lot of stamina just to get some of this currency. Unless you're really late into the game, I would not recommend doing so. Like if you have all your characters leveled up and you're like, oh, I've leveled up every character, which is almost literally impossible unless you're like a whale and you actually pay to recover your stamina. Just don't do it. So that is pretty much it. So that's the end of the video, but I have a few things to talk about. So first of all, I try to upload every day, but since the English version of the game isn't really out and the event is about to finish, I guess it's just harder to produce more content every single day. So I will try and put out a tutorial video as long as I have content that I can talk about. But I don't want to go too deep. Like for example, I don't want to talk about, oh, how to clear this stage from the main storyline, because to me it's just like a spoiler, you know? And what's the point if I just spoil everything, like with with all the higher level characters that I have, and I've already cleared all of these. But instead, when the English version come out, I will be going through every single stage. Even these really easy ones, I will be clearing them and going through the tutorials, because the tutorials are actually really useful and they teach you quite a lot, but some people just don't bother and they just go speed through things. So I will also put out videos about these and teach you how to use your units, and I will also go through all of the stages so that you can go through them easier. And So hopefully you're interested in any of these, and perhaps you're interested, please subscribe and ring that bell so you'll get more content. So that is it. See you next time.